Today on Divorce Court, today's couple believes fate brought them back together after a one-night stand 10 years ago. After a whirlwind romance, they got engaged and blended their families together. But now, his excessive drinking and chronic unemployment are causing her to press pause on walking down the aisle. Let's find out why she's still considering marriage.
Divorce Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Quaneta Green and Carl Edwards. The two of you have been together for 4.5 years. Can't quite get to the altar, so you've come to see me. Ms. Green, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you can't decide whether or not you should walk down the aisle with Mr. Edwards?
Well, we've been together for 4.5 years, as you said, and recently he started to excessively drink. And with his excessive drinking, it's been causing all kind of problems. For an example, when we go to, when I wake up in the morning, he goes to the store. When he goes to the store, then he comes back home, he has a bottle. By the time I get back home, he has another bottle, which is a pint. In the morning, he buys a half a pint. And by the time I go to work and I come back, he has a full pint. And I even bought an example of the full pint, if I could show you.
You got the full pint? Let me see the pint. Now, this is a pint of alcohol. He goes through 1.5 a day.
Yes.
According to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Edwards, is that an accurate recitation of the amount of alcohol you drink?
Yes.
Are you concerned about that at all, sir?
Yes, yes. I am concerned. I mean, I drink because, I don't know, I think every time I get stressed, when I get, feel overwhelmed or I get real mad, anything like that, it just, I don't know, it's like a stress reliever.
And I understand that because that's what people do, that's what alcohol does. My question to you is, it happened just a couple of years ago. You're not a long-term drinker.
No.
Did something happen that caused your life to be more stressful or uncertain?
You know, I've had a couple of discriminations with me getting a job, and so I've just been kind of worried, back and forth about everything. It's a lot of things.
When you say a couple of discriminations, why don't you explain the circumstances to me?
I've been called the N-word by one of my bosses, and never came back to work after that. One of my employees told me I need to wear a patch over my eye because I guess the customers don't want to see it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was just. It takes a toll on you when so. And I get stressed and I started drinking.
Mm-hmm. Ms. Green, do you agree that the drinking occurred around the time that he lost those last 2 jobs? You can have it. I don't want, people flipping stations and see me with a pint.
The excessive drinking, I believe, started once, the things with the jobs. But before then, he had been drinking, and I can admit, sometimes he'll try to stop, but he can't completely stop. It'll go to two half a pints, which equals up to 1 pint.
Right. What have you done about that? Discrimination occurs, job circumstances occur. What have you done about them? Have you filed lawsuits? Did you go to the EOC, whatever?
I'm currently in a lawsuit right now.
With both or with one of them?
One.
With one of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you just waiting that one out?
No, I have been finding little side jobs on Craigslist, things like that, little jobs here and there, just to make some money, but I am waiting it out. I have a lawyer and everything, so
yeah.
I'm just...
the busier you are, the less time your mind has to mess with you about what's going on. Work is its own solution sometimes, just for the anxious mind.
I can understand.
Putting that out there.
Because when I was working, I didn't really drink until I got home, and it'd be late at night, and then I'd have a shot and go to bed or something like that.
Yeah, but anxiousness,
Yes, ma'am.
Explodes on time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You say, though, that not only is he drinking, that he's mean, he's not a happy drunk, he yells at the kids, there's always some problems. Give me some examples of some unpleasant behaviors Mr. Edwards has engaged in because of his drinking.
Well, when he first started drinking, he's the nicest person. He'll give you the clothes off his back. He's so sweet and nice. But then once he gets on into the date and he gets mean and he just started making up stuff. For example, we could just be sitting there and we could be talking. I'd be like, babe, look at this on my phone or something like that. He'd be like, what are you doing looking at that? And it's just, if I would have told him earlier during the day to look at it, he'd have been like, oh, that's fine. But because he's excessively drinking and it makes him so angry. And I'd be like, why are you so angry?
What happened when the kids called you to tell him that you would be late instead of him? And
he got real angry. Like, usually, like, if they'll tell me that they're just going somewhere, then it'll be okay, and I'll tell them later on because I be at work all the time, so I'll tell them later on. But this particular day, I could tell that he had been drinking because I can always tell that he had been drinking. So one of the children wanted to stay late for a game or something like that, and I told him, yeah, but I was so busy I didn't have time to tell him about it because I was at work. You know, I'm a cook, so I was cooking or whatever, and I didn't have no break. So he texted me, why didn't you tell me that she was going here or that they were going here? And I was like, well, I thought as long as they told one of us, it was okay. And when I got to it, I would have told him. He blew it out of proportion. When I got home, he was extra mean and angry.
And carrying on. Yes, certainly, Mr. Edwards.
Okay, well, she making it seem like if she at work, and I'm at home waiting for the kids to come home from school, why should they call her? What is she gonna do for them? Like, if I'm at home waiting for y'all to get here and nobody's showing up, and she know they not gonna show up, and I don't know that, but I'm at home, am I wrong? Am I wrong for...
You may not be wrong in theory, but in response, you were wrong. Hey, next time, you should call me because I was worried and I was the one home. Period, end of story.
And that's what I said.
See what I'm saying? People make mistakes. They do illogical things. And all that anger doesn't help. Go ahead.
I mean, it's not like one time. It's not a one-time thing. They do it like every day before they come home. So when they start coming home late, I'm like, who is this? Where is this? Where is that? They gone over here. And I call her. I forgot to call you and tell you. But if you keep doing it, how am I supposed to know and keep up with them and
find out? Do you think that maybe they have problem calling drunk daddy?
They don't know if I'm drunk or not.
Yeah, they do.
No, they not.
Yes, they do.
How would they know if I'm drunk if they're at school?
Because you're drunk every day.
But I don't drink that much every day.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You admitted it, she said it, and the kids live there. They know. They know when you're drinking. They know when you're drunk. They know when you're mean because you're drinking. It's not a secret. It seems like that to you, but they know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Something. And I don't want him to think that we just, be just on him, that I'm always on him about it. But I'll be like, it's a problem. He'll be like, you just trying to be my mom. I'm not trying to be your mom. I'm actually just trying to, let you see what everybody else see. But he has a problem with it. He can tell everybody else their problems, but he can't never accept his own.
That's not true.
All right. I want you to tell me your concerns about his contribution to the household, given the current circumstances. That's what we're going to talk about next. Did you go on the man's job and start a lot of who shot John and got him fired for show?
I don't feel like I did. He tries to blame it on me, but I feel like
what did you go and do? What did you do?
Well...
Mr. Edwards, your wife is complaining about your contributions to the household, but you say that part of the reason you got fired was because of her on the last job. Explain those circumstances to me.
Okay, well, I got suspended from my job for 2 weeks. And like a week into the suspension, well, I didn't even know I was suspended, but I got suspended for 2 weeks. And my boss told me to come up there to talk to her about my suspension. And when I went up there, she was like, well, we're not gonna fire you. You're suspended for 2 weeks. I said, okay. I left, I walked out. She was like, so what they say? I said, they suspended me for 2 weeks. She gets mad, goes in there, asks the lady, can I get the manager's number? Can I get the the head office number and this and this and this? And they getting back and forth into it. Her girl get to arguing with her. She get to arguing with the girl, telling the girl she gonna beat her up and all this stuff. And I've never went back to work since that day.
Yeah, what's the point? Yeah.
And then
what did you get suspended for in the first place?
I didn't get suspended. It goes into the lawsuit that, she called me.
About the N-word?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. And that's the one that the lawsuit is about. You don't have the lawsuit about the eye.
The eye. Well, I got, yeah.
Because you have glasses on now because you have light sensitivity.
But I only have one eye.
One eye. I got you. And they were trying to cover that from a previous accident?
when I was 16, I got shot in the eye in Chicago.
No kidding.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm so glad you survived. I mean, you know what I'm
Blessed, I'm
saying? Yeah, yeah.
Blessed.
Did you go on the man's job and start a lot of who shot John and got him fired for show?
No. I don't feel like I did. He tries to blame it on me, but I feel like
Well, what did you go and do? What did you do?
Well, I went in there and I was like, can I have your corporate's number? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, I'm a customer and I want your corporate's number. She said, I know who you are. I said, I don't care who you think I am. I asked you for the corporate's number. I'm a customer and I want the corporate's number. She was like, get out my store. He should have wiped off the handle. I was like, that's not the reason that you suspended him or anything. You suspended him because you called him the N-word.
Let me tell you something about how you handle business. When somebody else is wrong, you don't get wronger.
But she made me mad.
So? She was probably mad when she called him that word.
But that's just an excuse.
But you shouldn't. No. Anger is rarely the solution to anything. It makes things worse, but it don't fix nothing. Lawsuits fix things, but you went in there and made sure he couldn't get, he could have stayed on the job, he could have worked something out, could have settlement, whole lot of things could happen. Because you lost your temper, he didn't have access to any of that. You see what I'm saying? You were satisfying your current need to hurt somebody.
Because she made me mad.
Yes.
You just can't do stuff like that.
Yes, she made you angry. Are you going to let everybody who doesn't like you or says something against you run your life?
I've been working on that.
Take paychecks out your house? A woman that thinks you and ain't going to take the paycheck out your house? See what I'm saying? They win when you let them do that to you. They win.
But I just don't know how people can get away with stuff like that. I felt
she didn't get away with it. She didn't get away with it. You could have pursued it, but you didn't pursue it in the right way. See what I'm saying? And he is, you can pursue it legally. Mm-hmm. You do it quietly and comfortably. You could have found out what corporate was on your own. You can Google that. But you were mad. You weren't resolving things. And when they poke at you and make you mad, they got your number. Always be cool.
Oh, you've been drinking. You've been doing this. And then it's a big fight between her and me. And
I surrender. What would you do if your partner got you fired from your job? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. Is it an issue in your marriage, her level of anger? How often do you see it? And can you give me an example of something other than the employment situation, which we've already discussed, that she just went way west of reasonable on?
The DVDs, that made a big argument.
Oh, tell me about that.
DVDs made a big argument because I took them out the room and I brought them in my room and I told them not to mess with the movies because they was leaving them all over the house. And so I said, that's it. And I have like 200, 300 DVDs. So, and they leave them around the house. So I said, don't mess with them unless you ask me. As soon as she get home, they just get the DVDs and go in the room, and I take them from her. Now she arguing with me, talking, why are you taking them from her? Why are you doing this? Why are you acting like that? And I'm trying to tell her because they had them all over the floor. She'll say, no, it's because you're drinking.
Movies.
She say you're drinking. She say because, no, it ain't. It's because you're drinking. But no, it's not. It's because I'm trying to show them that you can't just have my stuff all over the floor. I mean, even when they got DVDs, yes, they only $5 for $1. I get deals for them. So what? But they my deals. It's my movies. I mean, I just want them to be nice and taken care of. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they can't watch them or whatever the case may be. I just want them to be taken care of. If somebody give me their stuff, I will take care of that stuff and give it back to them like I got it from them. You know what I mean? So that's why instead of me arguing with anybody, I just took all the DVDs and put them over here like, okay, no one touch the DVDs. But as soon as she come home, everybody can do what they want to do and touch all the DVDs they want. And then when I say something about it, now it's, oh, you've been drinking, you've been doing this, and then it's a big fight between her and me. And okay.
I surrender. I do. But I let it go on that long for a reason. Do you see how agitated you still are about some 5 for $1 DVDs? Do you see? No. I know she got an anger problem. She told me she got an anger problem. But part of the problem is she got a drunk guy at the house with anger issues too. And she's trying to deal with the kids, make sure they're where they're supposed to be, make sure the money's all good, and then get home and deal with the guy who's 10 miles east of Rational about some DVDs. Because you're still 10 miles east of Rational right now today. So I know you were lit up. What is the worst kind of partner to come home to after a long day at work? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Mr. Edwards, you have got to see how much pressure she's under. Because that has got to be a driving impetus for you to do something about your situation. She can't get sober for you. You have to do it. And the only reason you'll get sober if you have a really good reason to fight, and I'm telling her she's gonna break. She's gonna break if things don't change. And she can't sober you up. You with me on that?
Yes.
Your kids know you're a drinker.
Yes.
They come home to this chaos every day. Oh, I know you don't want to hear me.
I ain't saying I don't want to hear you. I don't feel like, like I'm not holding up, like I'm just not doing nothing. I'm just sitting around letting her handle everything.
I didn't say that. What I said was she's gonna break because she's got too much on her. I'm telling you that. She's got too much on her. She works all day, she deals with where the kids are gonna be, and you come home agitating about DVDs, your entertainment situation. It's too much. I let you go on and on about stuff, so maybe you could see how unnecessarily angry and agitated you get about things. She's accepted her anger issues. You need to accept yours. Nothing will change until you accept it first.
True.
And you got reasons for all the things you do, and she got reasons to be angry. But I fussed at her about getting your job stolen from her. Now I'm fussing at you about that alcohol and your anger.
Yes, ma'am.
Accept responsibility for that. And what you need to do is have a really strong reason to do something different. And I'm telling you, if you don't get it together, she's gonna break. And if she breaks, the kids go with her.
True.
You love your children?
Yes.
Don't let her break.
Yes, ma'am.
This matter is adjourned.
How much longer are you willing to wait and see if this...
Truthfully,
Yeah, truthfully.
I'm willing to wait.
Period?
Period.
Where could I get this deal before you go? 5 DVDs for $1?
Pawn shop.
Yeah?
Everybody know that.
I gotta get on top of that, man.